Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the BRAYNE CAST. It's Super Bowl Sunday, so I'm all decked out because I'm a Patriots fan, have been for a very long time. My dog's name's Tom Brady, and I'm Shane. This is Jenny, and here we go. Let's do this.
All right, guys, we kind of have a few things lined up. Now, the first topic that I wanted to talk about is why do us idiot business owners put the wrong people in the wrong roles, or we try to do everything ourselves, thinking that I'm good enough as the next person. I can do that. So I was just barely talking to Shane about your video guy. Your video guy really takes it to the next level. He has been doing an awesome job, and he always has. We've always seen that, oh man, that's talent. That's, he gets some ambition behind him, and he's got some depth to what he does. So before you had him, you weren't really doing videos that much.
No, well, let's get into my video guy. Neil is an absolute G, but I want to talk a little bit about where it all came from and where he kind of learned from, and that is another big G friend of mine named Tyson. And Tyson's Alchemy, he does the inner architect and the advanced architect, which I am in now. There's stuff on Spool, Skool, and they really help you program your mind and become your own programmer instead of letting the media, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, do the programming for you. He teaches you how to use music, how to use self-talk, and program yourself. And everybody in that group is really good people, and it's a good place to be. So shout out to Tyson.
And his videos have always, like, when you see Tyson Alchemy's videos, you're like, shoot, he's got like that. Those are dope. They are so freaking. He has talent, and the
Yeah,
school is cool. I'm not in the what is the premium level that you are, but I'm in the tiny level
you're in the
that helps
minor
you reset
leagues.
and reprogram. I'm in the minor leagues. Well, here's the thing: is you have media at you all day, and I noticed this when I picked up the Bible again. Is that I didn't have God immediately in my life. Like I wasn't reading the Bible every day. I believe in God. Yeah, I'm Christian, whatever. But I didn't have it. Like the media is impressing garbage, sex, drugs, rock and roll. And I didn't realize that programming, it takes up your time. And it's
It
it's
does.
you're in the wrong direction if you're doing that. So Tyson's Alchemy is really cool. So he learned from him, or he was his secondary video guy.
We learned editing from him as well as another guy that I know in there, Rocco, and another guy, Ghost. They're all great editors, really good. Anybody that comes from Tyson becomes a very good editor, that's for sure, because they learn from the best. Tyson's Tate's editor, so Amigo Network is top notch.
Yeah, everything that they put out for that fight was really cool. That whole series that they did, that was really cool. And then
Yeah,
some of these videos that he's come out with just recently that are like montage life motivation videos, those are really cool. I know I'm such a dork. I'm like, oh, I
he's
like
trying.
this.
He's trying to wake people up and make people realize our own power, so to speak. Just to get into what you said earlier about God and Christianity, the church. I'm going to get into it a little bit. The church is a scam. It's all they have hidden the reality of what's happening for their own power. They want you to go to them. They want them to be the only connection between you and God, which is not reality. Uh, Jesus
Yeah.
said in that the kingdom of heaven is within. So I have kind of been diving into the back teachings of Jesus, like the fine print, so to speak, in the Bible, and I've discovered a lot of things that the church doesn't want you to know. And yeah, it gets very really interesting when you see that the Romans actually corrupted the church a long time ago for power, and even before that, like it's been corrupted from the beginning since they killed Jesus, and that's
That's how long
part of
we've
the
been
reason why they killed Jesus.
Well, that's how long we've been blaming capitalism. That was just my joke. I wanted to was right there. that's how long we've been blaming capitalism, is when the Romans decided that. But I mean,
Oh,
anyways, it's
if
not
you want
funny.
to talk about the Romans, like that's where we are right now. Like talking about the Super
We're at the
Bowl
mall.
right now. The earth, the world is literally burning around us, and half of the planet is more concerned about the Super Bowl than the millions of people dying in Gaza or dying in Ukraine or dying wherever they're dying. We're all consumed with sports teams, which is exactly what the Romans did with the gladiators. Oh, Rome is collapsing, but let's distract the mob with a circus. And it's funny how history repeats itself if you actually look at it in that way. That's what's happening right now. We're all so desensitized. Like we really should be up in arms with what's happening with Epstein, who's on this list. Every single politician is on it. All of them. There's no good, there's no bad, there's just worse. You know, like there is no right
We're
and
all gonna
wrong anymore. It's just bad and worse.
it's a the Epstein files are a huge subset of history, right? Between people in the CIA and other government, other high-powered individuals that have a ton of money, and we will all forget about it. And the Super Bowl is going to go on, and I can't believe what's going on in Italy right now. So chaos breaks out at the Olympics. No biggie. I mean, it's just. I,
I
I
don't even
mean,
know,
this
to be
stuff that
honest.
we're supposed
I don't pay attention. I'm not even watching the
Oh,
Super Bowl.
well,
I'm just wearing this clothes because I support the Patriots and I'm a patriot. I'm a patriot of life. I'm a
well,
patriot of Earth, and I'm a patriot of this world.
that's the thing about the Bible, is that it all repeats itself, and those are lessons. So everything that's written in the Bible was from a story that somebody has written down. Somebody had to write it, and that's why you have like Isaiah or Mark, and so we're here at this moment in time where there's all this chaos, and the media is going like this. And I don't think that people realize that, oh, okay, we're just doing branding online. Well, the propaganda is kind of taking over, and it's taking over the younger generation, and there's a lot of push for the whole internet to be turned off for under 13, and or in Europe, I don't know what they called it, but the same type of rules. So and because we're being taken over, and it's with our minds, it's with the media that's been around us, and so us creating some videos for our own content for a good thing to promote our businesses is like, okay, calm down. Huge world out there, a lot going on. Let this in a little bit, make something funny about it. I'm trying to come up with like funny type videos, and that's not as easy as it looks. And that's, we had that as part of our topic. So in these videos, I'm trying to make something that's a little funny, a little more content-ish, and not just a professional advertisement. And your guys, just they do a killer job. They do a really killer
Yeah.
job. How have the videos been going with your clients? What's been going on with that? I haven't seen them. I haven't seen a ton. I saw one, but I haven't really seen them all.
The AI videos, you mean?
Yeah. Have they been
Yeah,
spitting out
so
any
we're
yet?
we're we're getting a ton of interest. It's it's a bit of a process to close deals, obviously, because we're not just an AI company. We like to do a full audit, and we just got into these AI videos, what, like 2 weeks ago? So we're in the process of auditing a number of companies. We don't want to just sell you an AI video and say, here you go, and have it go out on the internet and then not produce leads or jobs or whatever it is the end goal is. So we do an audit first. We make sure that number one, there's an agent attached to it, so that when you're getting DMs, you need an instant response. If it takes you more than 7 minutes to respond, you've lost the customer. That's just the day and age we're in, of people's minds being so distracted. So
Is
it's a
that on a different
process.
platform,
So
or what is that?
we post across
So
all
what platform?
platforms:
Okay.
Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, pretty much
I was wondering.
anywhere where you can post our agent deals with it. But it's not, it doesn't
Yeah,
stop
well,
there.
and
It's
that
got to continue into a process of where that agent then talks to the people in their DMs and then leads to another agent who is an SMS or a phone agent, whichever the customer prefers, to close the deal and set up the meeting with the client. So yeah, we have a few good customers coming in now, and we're gonna make sure that they win.
I like seeing some of the ads that are out there. I like seeing them. And then our guest Mark, he had a few videos out there. Was that a TV show that he went on? What did he go on? Was that a TV show? Do
Dragon's
you know?
Den.
I don't know if you.
Yeah. You don't know what Dragon's Den
Oh
is?
shoot! I have no idea. That's a Canada thing.
Oh, so
Must be a
Dragon's
Canada
Den.
thing.
What is that show with Mark Cuban in the United States? Where there's a bunch of
Oh,
guys
I'm
on the
not a.
panel.
Yeah, the panel or whatever. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what
where
you're
you go
talking
on
about.
and you pitch your
Um,
business and they try to make a deal. Anyway, Dragon's Den is the equivalent to whatever that show is. I can't think about it right now. The
that's
Canadian version,
freaking
so it's
cool.
probably
I'm so
sucks,
glad
but it's the Canadian
he went.
version. So no liberal
No.
Mark Cuban on it, that's for sure. There's another guy that's bought and paid for. I'm not gonna get into that either.
Some of the products. Yeah, I only watched that show a couple times, and there's a few versions of it. I think Trump had a version of it. Sorry, I don't watch that much TV. But
Let's
yeah,
get
that's
into
really
that a
cool
little
seeing.
bit because a lot of people are hating on Trump because of this Epstein list and if he did something wrong with underage girls, he deserves all the hate he gets. But here's the thing: we had a choice between Trump and Kamala Harris, and I will make that Trump choice 100 fucking times, and I would never even think about it twice. Kamala Harris would have been a disaster for all countries, not just the United States. She would just be, she can't even put together a sentence, let alone be a president. She would be the worst thing that could ever happen to any country, anywhere, ever.
Yeah. Well, and the defense is so the files are released. Trump is mentioned so many times. We all know that it's some CIA backwash, fucking money laundering, gun smuggling type thing, right? Network, and all of the proof is like not really substantial. There's not much. Okay, so I didn't see much that was not on the business money side. I didn't see much that was on the I'm a disgusting person that sleeps with
So
kids side.
really,
You know,
when it
and
comes to these files, nothing is conclusive. That's what I've noticed. There is no conclusive proof against anybody. So whatever they've released what they want us to see. And that's it. There's nothing that could be proven against anybody. And here's one thing I do want to bring up because it matters to us, to people like us. Who's not on that list? Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, the people who have been accused of these horrible things for the past, I don't know, 5 years, however long it's been, they're not on the list. They're not mentioned. It's just like a matter of we're going to accuse you of what we are doing. And that's what they did to Tate. And it's just funny that basically everything that guy said was turned out to be true, and everything the media said against him turned out to be a lie, and the media was protecting themselves because the media has people in high places that are involved in this bullshit. So it's just interesting how people are actually programmed in this world, and I still get a lot of hate online from these people. Oh, Andrew Tate's a human trafficker. No, he's fucking not. Where's the evidence? There's no evidence. The people you're protecting are programming you to say this. So I that's about as far as I'll go into that. But I want to give a shout out to
well, it
Andrew
has to
Tate,
do with
who kind of helped me get to where I am because without the real world, I am still a landscaper.
yeah, me too. Huge shout out because I was dwindling off into I only get one vacation a year and I'm just going to work my job like good girl and hopefully I'll retire one day. That was my mindset and I had given up. I lost the dream. I lost the plot at one point and stayed there for 4 or 5 years. And decent life, did things right, but I didn't have that extra I need to get out and do something better. And, that's what we're doing. I think that getting media out there, being voices. I hope that whoever's watching this, if you want to come be a guest on our podcast, we would love to have you. We're trying to get business people, real people that aren't afraid to have their personality come out. We don't have to drift into topics and say the T word. No Tate, no Trump. We don't have to say those words, but we would love to have more guests. And I have been talking to people. I really like reaching out to people and seeing what they're up to. There are some really, really cool marketing campaigns that I've seen just browsing around like, oh, who would be an awesome guest on our show? And I go look and there's these, I'm like, what is this? This looks amazing. Like I got a free book in my email the other day and I'm like signing up, like click here. And I'm like, I love this marketing. I'm like running into really cool marketing campaigns, just trying to reach out to folks who, business owners. And a lot of times business owners, even if you don't have all of your socials set up, you name drop right here, you do your elevator pitch, and you have some video content for your stuff. And yeah, so hopefully we can help put that out into the media universe, taking over your brain instead of something that's programmed. um, so I know that we were talking about Neil before. So I have to say that I honestly think that this generation, these younger kids, 18, 17, 18, 19 years old, they want AI to take over. They want to have less work. They don't like seeing somebody doing stupid tasks and getting paid. They would rather have everything automated. They see the future where this should be, well, why aren't we doing it like this? They see how it could be better and they're building their own things. I mean, I know that people on your team, they want to replace entire human. They're like, nope, AI can do that. And I'm like, all right.
And we are.
Let's
We
go with
do it every day.
that.
Not only can
And we're
AI do
arguing
it,
and
but AI can do it better.
AI can do it better. And what's going to be really cool is when they prove me wrong. That's
I'm
what's
I'm
really going to be
waiting
the
for a human to prove me wrong. I'm still waiting. People think they're arguing with me online. These liberal, like my AI posts online, and liberals think they're arguing with me, but they're arguing with my AI. They're not even arguing with me half the time. I'm like looking at these conversations. I'm like, oh, you got schooled. It's hilarious.
That's so awful. That is so awful. And they're taking time out of their day and they're going to go research something, look it up. Nuh-uh. I'm going
And
to
they're
troll you
monetizing
harder.
me, and all their hate is monetizing me. I got an offer on Facebook for monetization last week.
That's cool. That's way cool.
So
Shoot.
much, but it's
But
all comes
these
from
kids
liberal hate. So many liberal
our
haters
haters monetize
commenting.
us.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Yep.
I find it hilarious.
When me and
It's just
Shane,
making me post more stuff, more crazy stuff that is hilarious to me. I sit there and laugh. Like I posted a video today of the anti ice crew with like icicles dripping and drool dripping from their face, and it was the one lady that got shot in her van and the other liberal dude that got shot, and they're walking around saying ice is terrible, I'm gonna do this. And it's just pure clickbait, like these people are just, they fall for it and they click and they hate me, and I'm laughing. I'm sitting here literally laughing at how angry these people are getting over such nonsense.
have you ever Have you ever watched the left media? Like, have you gone and scrolled through what they produce? They are good ass media producers. They have convincing, very like documentary style. A girl, she kind of goes towards an ICE officer and they throw her down to the ground. And then they portray the video as, I was just on my way to school, crying. And then other people, she's just a good girl. They didn't need to attack her. And fade to black, the guy throwing her down, the ICE agent throwing her down in slow motion. And then she's crying, and not showing what she was doing 10 minutes or before,
I refuse to
and they
watch
have
that stuff because it's like we were talking about earlier with Tyson. That is programming and it's negative programming, and I just don't let it into my mind. If I'm on social media, I'm creating. I'm not consuming. I use social media as an outlet for my own personal creativity and to amuse myself sometimes at other people's expense, I'll admit. But other than that, like I don't go out. Like I'll tell you, I'm a little bit vain. I will watch my own stories 15 times in a day, but I won't watch anyone else's.
Yeah,
That's
we got
just
to get
me.
better. We got to, get more traction. We've got to, get the word out there. My daughter, she's the one, she always sends me videos and she expects I'm a pro Trump response. She always expects that. But I've gotten some good conversations from her from being really far left to she's the middle left now. So I'm going for that. We agree on certain things. We agree on things. And I'm like, go there. She's really heavy
My
on the gas
children
taxes.
aren't
She
allowed to
really
be
wants
liberal. If you're liberal, you better be able to pay your own bills. That's all there is
I
to
don't
it.
know how many people I've run into. I don't know how many people I've run into that, are not liberal, they're conservative, and their kids are liberal. And it is because of media. We just have to admit. I don't know how many people they
Yeah,
say,
and it's
oh, well,
all.
I can't talk to her
But
about
you also got to make sure you're giving them the right information and not letting them consume too much. Like the like if their only information they're getting is from online media, then they're gonna obviously think what the media programs them to think. So the reason why children are taught school at a young age is because their mind is so susceptible. They'll believe anything. That's why they believe in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. They believe what they're told, and that's what's so dangerous about the media being so readily available to young children because they believe what they're told. You tell them that there's a magical bunny that comes around and delivers chocolate eggs, they believe that shit. And it's the same programming that they use to program them into being leftists. And that's why I don't think personally children should be even allowed on the internet. I think they should be segregated completely away from it and not like if I was to have children today, they wouldn't go to school. That's for one thing. They would never go to school. I would educate them and they would learn what I think is right. They would not be allowed on the internet. That would be rule number one until they're 18 or 16 or at least old enough to formulate their own thoughts. Letting these kids on iPads when they're 5 and 6 years old to consume whatever bullshit and go on stupid sites like Roblox, which is a place for predators to meet children. Like it just doesn't make sense. Why are you letting your kids do this? You're allowing programming. You're not being a parent. You're just be letting your
well, mom
iPads
wants to be a boss.
babysit your kids. Yeah, mom
Yeah,
should
it's
be
because
home
mom wants to
raising their
be
children.
boss. No, no, mom never. She spent 3 months at home, not even that, 9 weeks or whatever at home, not even that, when she had her kid, and then her baby was in someone else's arms, which I think is totally wrong. I didn't do that, guys. But like, that's the way that it is. I saw this New York Times article. I believe it's New York Times. It was so disgusting. It said something like, um, women can't be cooking fresh foods for their kids. It's a um, low wage task or something. They wanted us to think that cooking is beneath them, and that's like a low wage worker thing. And I
And
was
that
like,
that's why the
disgusting.
whole families are diminishing in real time because of thought processes like this. You give a woman right now an option that I can have a $5,000 Birkin bag and go on vacations 3 times a year with this millionaire, or I could settle down with this tradesman and get real love and children and family. They're going to take the fucking bag and the vacations and the easy life, and they're not going to have a family. And that's what's wrong with the world today.
Yeah.
And
It's
the
always, we
media
have to
is
do something
raising
better.
women to think like that.
It's
Social
not
media
good enough.
raises these
Like,
young girls to think in that manner, that family doesn't matter unless it's with a multimillionaire or a billionaire who has a yacht and a Lambo and all these things. It's not what they want anymore, and they think it's realistic that they deserve this kind of man, but that kind of man comes with other things. He doesn't want just one woman. He wants multiple women, and he wants freedom to go do whatever he wants, because that's what he has earned by becoming that kind of a man. So these millionaires, they very rarely have only one woman and just stay loyal to that woman. And that's what's demolishing the family lifestyles. Every girl wants the millionaire, and the millionaires don't want children with all these women because then they get fleeced. So it's the
yeah.
population is dying. Women aren't having children, and it's happening in real time. And if you were gonna, this is a question that comes up all the time. Do you think AI is going to create robots and destroy humanity? AI is already programming the algorithm to make these women think these thoughts. So AI doesn't have to make robots to destroy society. It can do it slowly. Whereas AI will be around in 100
President,
years. And in 100 years, there's going to be way less humans around because AI is programming an algorithm to slowly diminish us. They still want some humans around. They don't want to kill us all, but they want us where they want us, which is not too many kids, not too much of a family life. They want us in our place, working for them. And it's already happening.
well, the big conspiracy, not a conspiracy theory, but what kids nowadays think is that the marriage system is a trap. And that's what gets you held down by the man. And then the government is going to take your money and lie to you. And so they see this and they say, I'm not doing that. So they're not even having sex. They're not having kids. They're not getting married. And then you have this 20-year gap and person, gets my age, like, 35, 45, and they're trying to take a step in their life and realize, like, oh shit, this is going to be the rest of my life like this, like, and they took their 20s and had these thoughts of conspiracy theory, didn't start anything, and the people that did get married, settled down, started to have their family, or already have good successful family, marriage, love experiences, unless they got fleeced. I mean, but you have
But
a high
most of that,
percentage of
even most of them, they're either miserable, like the man is treated like shit. The woman thinks she's the boss. Feminism has ruined the world. The woman is in charge. The man jerks off to Pornhub, and the woman bosses him around and doesn't allow him to be the man, or doesn't allow him to run the household and make the decisions. And that is decaying society. Feminism and liberalism are hand in hand. Without women, there would the liberal movement would die. It would die because men, if they were allowed to be real men, which is strong, masculine, train, have a good body, work out, make money, make decisions, be the man of the house.
Yep.
If that happens still, then there would be no liberals, there would be no feminism, and the world would be a much better place.
There was a post earlier that Tate said, and he said, if you have to program women and the conversations that you have with them. I'm like, you know what? If I had somebody in my life that actually was the person that made decisions, I would be grateful. it is difficult to be a woman navigating. I get ripped off when I get my car fixed. I get ripped off if I need anything done. I get ripped off by not asking more at my job. I'm happy for helping. It's having somebody that is the strong person in your household that does make the decisions. They portray it as a bad thing. That's patriarch. Ban like nobody wants the patriarch. You don't want patriarch. Really? I've lived without the patriarch, and this sucks. I mean, and I've dated guys that had turned kind of into the pushover, like you make the decisions. No, it's up to you, and it would become. I do
Okay.
not want to choose where we eat. I do not want to choose where we. I'm not hungry. You're the one that's hungry. Choose where the fuck we eat now. Like, I mean, I'm not eating. Like, and it would just become like, okay, mush brain. But it's not fun.
Never been a
It's not
problem
fun
for
when
me.
you. Oh. Jane, that's a good point. You point out a lot of stuff that's like, Jen, you need to do this, and I'm like, yes, sir. You do that a lot with me.
I'm a natural
So
leader,
um,
and I'm a natural kind of like, I like to take control of situations. I feel like I've been around. I've run businesses. I know what we need to do. I know what everybody needs to do. I know how a family should run. So I feel like I should make decisions, and I'm not afraid to make them.
So before we hop off, I think that we should touch on how to get the right people in the right positions in your business. And so you have people on your team, maybe kind of reflect on that. And then I have just a quick story about when you don't have the right people in the right position, that we can touch on really quick. And that way, it's like, okay, so how is AI going to solve these problems? Well, if you have the right map and you have the right things set up, the right processes, you don't need to be asking the wrong person to do the wrong thing that doesn't fit them, that isn't going to work. It's not going to work to ask a office person to be the salesperson sometimes. It's not going to work. I know that you have video guys and two developers. What do you have?
So I have a video specialist. Yes, I have multiple video specialists, and I have three automation specialists that do different kind of automations: phone, SMS, email, and then I have just a regular coder who is good at a lot of different things, organized. What I try to do is I try to hire people that are strong in the places where I'm not. So part of being a leader is recognizing where your strengths are and where they're not. And here's where most CEOs get it wrong. They try to do everything, and they think, well, if I pay $3,000 to this company, then I don't have $3,000. But they're not considering that $3,000 can make you 20. You know what I mean? So when you're considering hiring an AI company, there are a lot of them out there now, and you need to do a little bit of homework and make sure that they have reviews, that they've done this before. Because I'm on LinkedIn and I see every person out there thinks they're an expert, and they post all day, but I don't see any kind of client reviews ever. And I don't see any kind of, they say, oh, I sold this automation for $10,000. Well, let's hear the customer tell us how great it is. Let's not just see the automation. None of them do any of that. I'm the only one that I see doing that, where I post my clients and what they actually think of us and what they actually have to say and what we've actually done in the real world for them. So that's one thing that businesses really need to consider, is they're going to get contacted by 10 different AI companies. Make sure you go with someone that has real world experience, that's already doing this for other companies successfully, because talk is cheap, action is all that really matters.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. And somebody in their business, they're going to say, well, I tried that before. And what they mean is they had the guy that they hired in the front desk post a few social media posts and it didn't work. or I tried that before, and they did hire, or they did log into some SaaS that was going to do some automated emails, and it didn't work, right? They either had the wrong message, and you see this over and over again, and that is kind of um, that's the hurdle for now. We're an AI company, but really an all around marketing company. And really, when you get into my side of the business, it's really a brain of where you can look at every single piece of your business in one place. So, when people have tried something before, they've hired the wrong person and haven't put the right person in the right spot. It's like, okay, well, this is something else. Guarantee your results like you do, and actually evaluate kind of a top to start to finish what the complete solution would be. Because a lot of what I've seen in my consulting is that the systems aren't put together, the reports aren't there, they have no facts, they're working on emotion, all they have is their bank account. And
They
so
try to
if they
plug
don't
in
know, oh
the
well,
wrong, they try to plug in the wrong tools. Like, so that's one thing that we do is we don't always know which tool is going to be the most successful. And the one we think is going to be the most successful often isn't. And that's why we give you everything. We give you every tool. So if you hire us to make you videos, we don't just make you videos. We give you a phone agent, an SMS agent, a social media agent, and then we basically see what works, and then we double down on that. So hiring us is different than hiring the guy who's just going to build you a chat bot on your website. It's not, you can't compare us. It's like comparing apples to oranges. You hire us, you get everything. You get all of it put together. Then we see what works best and we double down on it.
yeah, or trying to have your staff implement some new thing. Implementing a new system sucks. It's never fun. Changing things to work how the system wants you to instead of how you actually operate sucks. Like there are all these things that it's like you've been doing business a certain way for a long time, and when you try to make a leap in the marketing or in the getting clients, getting more business direction, you try and you're like, oh well, I'm just referral only anyway, and things are going pretty well. I feel like I have a steady incline. I feel, I know I'm making more money than I used to. I do get more clients, but making those actual, like you said, with the different, from text messaging to the video marketing, you try all of that, you will have that success that you guarantee. So I really appreciate that. So in what I do, I usually get talking to somebody and they won't have any idea what their profit and loss looks like. They won't have any idea. They're like, my bookkeepers are behind 6 months. Can you help me? My bookkeepers are behind a whole year. And I'm like, okay, so you have no idea really, like how does your business work then? Because you have an invoicing system or you have this marketing going on. So you're not like gauging anything in between. And I hate asking those questions. People don't like talking to me. um, well, they do like talking to me, but when I start asking the hard questions, I usually like to be like in front of them so they can't skirt away from the answer. That's how bad I have to get the answers out of people, because it sucks to answer a question I don't know what my profit and loss is. It sucks to know that. It sucks that you've been in business 10 years and you don't have a solid bookkeeping, and finding that those people. What will normally happen is the bookkeepers will try to push off the work onto your operations team. Your operations team needs to get us this. We're waiting on your operations team. We're waiting on your front desk guy. We're waiting on the sales guy. He's supposed to submit this. And a lot of that pushback is the bookkeepers being lazy and not setting up the system and the processes. And that's exactly what you do, is set up the systems and the processes correct. Once it's correct, then it's like I consult and I'm watching it, where I'm not doing bookkeeping. You have bookkeepers, or I'll hire the bookkeepers, but the consult is there after the system is set up. So just having the wrong people that are trying to answer these questions, and oh, how much was sales last month, and you have your sales girl go look up some report, she hand writes it on a piece of paper and scans it to me, in which happens I have like what were what were your property expenses for last year handwritten your roof. You know, like it's so crazy. But that's how it is. So there's a lot of similarities, and when you tie it all together, it's going to be really cool when we can really offer a complete solution. So I am onboarding a client for doing just some past work, and that his bookkeepers have failed on, and that's going to be really cool. Hopefully that turns into something serious. But I
Well, you
do
should bring
like
them to
seeing
us.
how he's a cool guy. He's a real cool guy. He's a MAGA guy too, so I like him. Yeah, so appreciate everybody. If you have any questions, DM us. We'd love to hear from you. Repost, like, we appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see
Yeah.
you guys next week.